This is Lungla, March 13, 2019. Yesterday I saw an update from the NTSB regarding the Amazon Prime flight 5591 crash near Houston International Airport. And from the information, I'm more confident now in terms of what the main cause for recent airplane crashes and also other incident failure. And this update augment to my previous video about geomagnetic caused the airplane to crash. The assertion is correct, but however, what needs to be changed and would update is the airplane, in this case, does considered to be a software bug cause the airplane to crash, but not what being reported based on like the Lion Air in Indonesian Lion Air crash. The reason I said that is a lot being focused on is the angle of attack, and this is pretty much a little airfoil to figure out that which angle are you going up and the stalling or not. And I think this is a maneuver. I mean the indicator, but I think for example in software you give an error message, the shake of your yoke. It's not stalling, but something else. Let me explain. Fundamentally, I think the most important, I got double here, the most important instrument on board of an airplane is this gyro. And so, pretty much would tell you the artificial horizon of your airplane. So, and this gyro here is when you tell you whether you're nose up, nose down, where is the ground. So you fly parallel to the ground, you are levering. And so for my assertion in this video here is this gyro reading is incorrect at the time of the incident occurred. And this error, bad reading happened more than just on the airplane. Pretty much affect all systems that depend on this kind of instrument to figure out the orientation of the flying object or what involved. So I will go into the detail of why the reading could be wrong. Okay, but first assume that the reading is wrong for a moment. And if instead of this is your horizontal flat, if this gyro here, the attitude instrument here, tell you that horizontal is this angle here, pretend this is an arrow, it's this way. Naturally, the airplane will try to level or something. And so, assume that that is the case. So what happened is, the airplane will point down to the angle of this device. As this go down, then the altimeter tell that it lose altitude, height. And so in this case, when it lose altitude, however, it's not stalling, but the important thing is for it for the airplane at this point to lift the nose up a little bit. See, everywhere fly flat. It lift the nose up a little bit, and you put on full thrust, and so go 100%. And they will ascend. But here it is, assume that this angle of this thing point, instead of horizontal flat down this way, it's, say this is 0, but actually it point down at 60 degrees or 60 degrees this way. So now this airplane will say, well, it needs to say, okay, I need to be up 20 degrees. Instead of up 20 degrees here, you're up 20 degrees relative to this device, which is you still at 40. And you accelerate, maximum acceleration. So in the Boeing 767-300, it pitched down. In this case, it actually relative to the ground, it down 49 degrees. And both engine running at 100%. And it did not slow down. You go in 20 seconds to impact at full speed. And nothing else wrong with, according to NTSB report. I mean, also the impact, the airplane didn't fall apart. There's no other failure. Basically, if you fly based on this gyro, and the gyro really is wrong, the angle of attack at that point, it might give you the indication. Okay, another thing about where it shakes. If this device tells you that flat is this way, but your airplane, the angle of attack, the airspeed, I mean that little fin here, see, if this thing is actually point down, and you are flying, and you are, okay, you are, even though you might be level, but the computer would think that you were going like that. So in other words, the angle of attack too high. It warns you, stall could happen, and so it begin to shake. And then usually that what happened, it dropped the nose. But then it dropped the nose, after it dropped the nose, again, then now it begin to respond in a loop back of the wrong gyro or your horizontal. And so now, in order to, so let's put the gyro in a simple one wheel here. And I put it horizontal here. So here the gyro, it spin. You see a lot of the demonstration, and also about, in physics, is when it's spin either way. The wheel, in this case, the gyro here, torque to line parallel to Earth, based on, because of precession induced by gravity. But, let's say it induced by something else. In this case, it's magnetic for a moment. And so now if you have a gyro, now this gyro in your airplane going, and now at this point, if you fly on based on this torque alignment, parallel, but it torqued down. Now, you go to the ground, just like I would describe. Can you tell that actually your instrument is off? That's why I hang the nail here. That is gravitational direction. It's down. So if your gyro say that you are, horizontal, it's that way, this arrow. But if you have a string and you hang something there, and the point, that way, that means down that way. So this is not horizontal. So which one's stronger? This would be the correct one. Because there are no experimental ever able to change direction of gravity in a big major way, especially a heavy object like this. So you should rely on that one. So the angle of attack, in this case, remember, it worked with synchronized, it integrated with the gyro. So it tells you that you are pointing in the wrong direction, everything else. But the important thing is, gravity would tell you with the correct one. So why this important? Just only for airplane. If you're looking at the past event, I've been looking and trying to link, is you look at Hubble gyro issue, Hubble telescope, Chandra X-ray telescope, and many other satellites have gyro failure, and some of them result in exhaust the propellant on satellites, so they have to and they no longer it kills the satellite pretty much. It's all satellite use extensively gyro to orient itself and torque itself, that to save fuel, or so it knows its orientation. But when you have a disagreement, it goes into the safe mode and try to save itself. So, and now at this point, you say, okay, physics or what been out there saying that only the gyro, gravity responds for the gyro. But I think as more data coming in, you will see, at least for the airplane and also satellite. And I can go to a more lengthy explanation of why the gyro, the magnetic field, common most of the time it going parallel to the surface on Earth here, and go out into the magnetosphere. And so, but when you have in this case a vortex, a storm event, it change direction. Wherever it goes there, if it change direction there, the gyro will respond, given that it's strong enough, for in that localized area. So there's a good reason for why satellite doesn't fly over the Earth, the permanent pole, because at that point, this field either vertically down or up. So satellite wants to go through to it, the gyro sync to it, it tries to adjust. Usually it ends up lose height, altitude at that point. Airplane have software coming in as you go toward the north, and you have the GPS and you have everything else, and relative to the the latitude, you already compensate for what the North Pole is. So you already know that, oh yeah, my gyro is actually going to go kind of toward down a little bit, because it's work with the GPS, work with the compass. But pretend it wasn't there, or more like you were trying to do navigation using compass. At North Pole, you are lost if you don't know that you're at North Pole, because it points straight down. So the gyro, we heavily depend on it, and that is probably the most crucial reason why the all three big incidents, the Lion Air, the Ethiopian Air, and the Amazon Prime, they all impact on the ground at full speed, 100%, because it has the wrong feedback. As they go and they try to angle attack actually up at that point, but physically it point down. So as it go down, it keep losing altitude. Radio altimeter or GPS will tell it. And so they have to, that's why they use maximum speed. And it insists going floodway. So if I got more update and more thought on or respond to comments, I will make a further video. Thanks for watching.